Hi guys, welcome to Real Football Talk. I'm Hassan. I have Famik and Adi with me. We'll be discussing Man City's fourth League Cup win in a row against Tottenham. Famik, what did you make of the game?
Um, Tottenham might as well have not been there. That's it. Man City dominated the game from minute one. First 10 minutes, it was all Sterling down the left, doing more than he should, trying to win his place back. Then it was Mahrez doing his magic, uh, missing chances. They missed loads, but Tottenham never threatened. I even looked at the players' positional map after the first half, and Harry Kane was playing DM basically. Tottenham didn't have a sniff. Man City won the game and it was going to win the game.
But it's funny you say that. Like the stats after the game, I saw the expected goals for each team. So Man City was 3.63 and Spurs was 0.06. I mean, that pretty much tells the whole story. Adi, what did you make of this defensive setup from Tottenham and them just not doing anything? And should they have played Kane?
I mean, there's no way there should be any question about playing Kane. I mean, they would have had no hope completely. At least with Kane, they had some hope on the pitch. But yeah, the setup was. And then if Mourinho set up like that, everyone would have criticized them from the off. It wasn't far off from the way Mourinho would, was setting up his team. So I just think. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Mason, everyone's hoping that it'd be a bit more of a game because they've changed their manager, and it wasn't. The only difference was the players were happy to defend for Ryan Mason or play slightly defensive for Ryan Mason, which they weren't for Mourinho. So that's the only difference I saw. You know, I mean, they weren't moaning.
Do you think Daniel Levy made a mistake, or in terms of how quickly he got rid of Mourinho just before a cup final?
Yeah, I think no matter how bad Mourinho is, when it comes to cup finals, it's one game, and Mourinho can win one game. It's cup finals. He'd have probably won this game 1-0. The same statistics, same sort of the way the match went, but instead of City scoring, Tottenham would have scored the goal, and that would have been the rest of the game. But what I find odd is the fact that it's Ryan Mason that got given the job. They didn't give it to anybody else, and obviously, I'm not a Tottenham fan, so I don't know what their coaching situation is. But Ledley King's the assistant manager. Why didn't they just give it to him? I don't get
it. The other thing was they brought Chris Powell in, who was part of the England setup, who's helping out Southgate as an assistant manager. He's been a manager with Charlton and other clubs.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, and he's
an assistant. Long may it continue.
He's an assistant, so yeah. I mean, I think it's a strange decision because I think even Ryan Mason is still going through his badges. So
is he not completed them?
I think the last one takes a bit of time. It takes 18 months. So the pro license. So you're allowed, as long as you're on it, you're allowed to manage and all that. But I mean, there's quite a lot of people who have managed without completing it. They complete it while they're still managing. So that's not a new thing, but it's just surprising. You got more, you got young,
you got more experienced coaches
and ex managers as your assistant.
Well, that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it made for a very one-sided game.
Yeah, because I thought Spurs' team selection in general wasn't great. You've got Lo Celso playing, but the players who are supposed to be feeding him aren't really people who are good on the ball. You got the one who kicks ankles. What's his name? Højbjerg, and the centre mid, the English regular. What's his name? Harry Winks.
Harry Winks.
And then you've got Ndombele on the bench.
Well, you'd expect Harry Winks to at least pass the ball, no? I mean,
Harry Winks isn't
not better than most of the other lots in terms of passing the ball. No?
Yeah, I just think Harry Winks is someone
he's a sideways player.
Yeah, but at least he moves it sideways. Unlike the other ones, they don't even.
Yeah, no, but at the end of the day, the way City press, But there's a lot to this game to say about the way City played, because in previous years that carry on with the high press the whole game. You look at the second half, they just sat off.
Yeah, because Tottenham weren't doing anything. Like,
Yeah, and it's but normally we know Pep City before this season just wouldn't even do that. They'll be at
yeah, that's
100
true.
miles per hour the whole game. And we said in the previous podcast, that's what the assistant has brought, the new assistant Lilo, because he's an experienced manager. He's managed to get Pep to be less stubborn on the philosophy and be a bit more flexible. And you can see that because they rested, they sat off, they let Tottenham have the ball, and then, you know, they ended up getting the winner from, oddly enough, a set piece when Laporte should have been set off before that point.
I've seen a lot of people say he should have been sent off, but I mean,
that's two clear yellows.
Yes,
that's two counter-attacks. Stop. If
he gets a yellow for the first one, he doesn't do the second one. Maybe, so he wouldn't have been sent off.
Maybe, but there could have been something else where he done.
Yeah, possibly.
Either way, if you take those both fouls in isolation, they're both yellow cards.
Oh yeah,
cards.
definitely.
That's all it is. But and it's the exact same move. Tucking the hand and pulling the same player back. So it's hypocritical to give it for one incident and not the other.
No, I agree.
But I don't think I think even with 10 men, City would have won that game. Let's be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I get what you mean, because
Spurs
Tottenham
didn't offer anything.
Tottenham just came for a day out. That's basically it.
You got Harry Kane, a superstar. You got Song. You got superstar players, and you don't even attack.
It reminds me of that game against Liverpool they played where they bottled there as well.
Champions League final.
Yeah,
just poor stuff all round from Spurs, but it's great for me because they don't win a trophy, and long may that continue as well. It's actually funny. Harry Kane, if he stays at Tottenham, he's not ambitious, and he's picked the wrong team to put all these eggs in. So
I mean, is Harry Kane gonna now leave because everything looks a bit difficult? Because
to be fair,
you look at Chelsea's position, you look at Leicester, and you look at their.
Even if Tottenham won, I'd still expect Harry Kane to be moving on. If he had won, this would have been one of those, like Hazard winning the UEFA Cup final for Chelsea, where it's like, okay, I've won a trophy, I can go now.
Yeah,
that's what it would have been, I think.
So you think no matter what happens, Kane's going?
Well, I think he should. I don't know if he will. It depends on Levy, but I think he should. And look at Phil Foden, shining bright, big game player. He had a couple good moments today, and couple years ago, even people were moaning at Pep for not starting him, and now look, he's getting these chances and he's taking them. So maybe the way Pep decided to ease him into the team was a good idea.
He's trying to teach.
I think it's more because it was just an unnecessary weight, because what he was trying to do is change Foden's game to become a bit more secure as a midfielder, and the compromise he's made is because Foden wasn't changing his game. The compromise he's made is playing him as a winger now.
Yeah.
So it's actually he could have played him as a winger 2 years ago, and Foden would have been where he is now, probably a bit more established. So
he had time on his side, so.
It hasn't cost him. Quality shines too at the end of the day. And,
yeah.
Again, under this version of Pep, there's a lot more compromise to his system. So I think, previous years, he would never have even played Foden as a winger. The fact that he's changing his ways and changing and being a bit more flexible, shows that the difference the experienced assistants have made to him. But I think come back to the Kane point. I think that he's going to wait and see what the ambitions of the club is. When a player gets that is the star attraction, they can negotiate and see what is the project,
do what they like.
who is the player, who is the manager going to be, Where are we going? What players are you going to bring in to help me? The Messi and Ronaldo conversations happen where they start dictating a bit who they want to see.
Daniel Levy is going to say they're going to bring back Gareth Bale on another loan.
Well, it doesn't matter who Tottenham want to bring in because some of those players won't want to join. They're just going to have to stick to. They're going to be shopping in the same pool Arsenal are. Hilarious.
Yeah,
and
but
they've had
they
a
still
better
get.
season.
They're gonna wait till the last week and get a good player on a bargain. But at the end of the day, that player might not fit what they actually need.
Yeah, it depends on who their
it'll be
manager
value
is.
for money. Either way, with Levy, it'll be value for money, and that's it really. I
Do
mean,
you reckon is that what the problem is with the Spurs because they're trying to be so calculated with their money? They kind of just gain anyone that they could get who's value for money and then just put him into the team, like they done with Getson Fernandez. You can say
No, Spurs just sign people who are meant to be good players without actually. Spurs tend to sign the name rather than the player, if that makes sense. Because the money they got for Gareth Bale and they just blew it on random players. None of them are there. Who's there? Lamella's the only one that's still there, and that's because he cost the most. Everybody else is just meh. Lo Celso is supposed to be good player, but he's not shown it yet. Ndombele shows it for 60 minutes and has to be subbed off. These are the signings that Spurs are making. These are the signings that are supposed to take them to the next level, but they're just not producing. And then you're expecting Harry Kane to stay and play with that when he wants to win trophies. What's he, 29?
28, I think.
No, is he 28? I thought he was 29, but he's not.
I thought he was 27, but
he's not really. He's not really won a major trophy. He hasn't even I don't even want to count the Champions League final as a major final because from day one, everybody knew Liverpool were winning that, and people were shocked. Spurs even. He's 27. Right.
Yeah, he's gonna be 28 in the 28th of July.
Harry Kane's got like 5 solid years.
Yeah.
If he's lucky, 5 solid years. You don't want to spend them at Tottenham.
But who would he go to? Who would he go to? Who would he go to? Is he gonna
Man United are the best fit for him? Not in my opinion.
I think City might go for him.
I just don't see it. I feel like City are more when they're gonna spend a lot of money, they're gonna buy players from a different league. If City are spending over 100 million, it won't be someone from the Prem. I don't think Harry Kane will leave for less than 100 and something. And Man United will pay that.
Yeah, they're gonna want silly money, so it's gonna come down to who's willing to pay silly money.
Yeah.
But I mean, it may come down to a situation where no one's willing to pay that, and then what do they do? What does he do?
I'll take Harry Kane.
But he's under contract. He's under contract for another 3 years, so
I'll take him for 30 million.
The amount of goals he scored against us, yeah, I'll happily pay 30.
That won't happen, even though he's an Arsenal fan.
I mean, I was gonna say, do you reckon? Chelsea's looking for a striker as well. Then I thought Chelsea are a London club, so he probably won't go to them.
Yeah, I doubt Chelsea. Haaland and Chelsea look to be the match. Everybody else has to find someone else. But like I said, this game was, despite it being supposed to be like a big clash, 2 top 6 teams playing, Man City absolutely dominated Tottenham, and it ended up being a boring watch. After the first 20 minutes, I think, where the proper good chances were coming in, the game just settled, and you already knew how this game was going. The only thing is that because City hadn't scored in the first half, people might have thought, oh, maybe Tottenham might do a smash and grab, and they didn't, because Tottenham didn't produce a single thing in the entirety of 90 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're going to get criticised more now because the performance was so bad that everyone's going to question, letting
Mourinho go.
Because no matter, I don't think Mourinho's team would have performed as bad as that. They'd have had a bit more creativity about them. They'd have tested the keeper a bit more. I think, yeah, they would have had slightly more of a threat because the narrow three was just so strange because it didn't help Song because you know Song cuts in when the right back pushes up,
Yeah.
and you know the
But
defender picking him up
regularly,
the whole game because
Tottenham's
Kane drops
fullbacks
in
didn't
the.
have good games anyway.
So yeah, I just thought that the tactics never worked. They're too focused on how to stop City.
It was poor all round. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, four final wasn't much of an event.
Tottenham shouldn't be in finals. They make it terrible. Tottenham make terrible finals. I've seen two in recent years now.
I mean, I always said it, innit? They made Liverpool who they are because they allowed them to win that Champions League. I mean, if it was anyone else in that Champions League game, it'd have been a different story because that was
Yeah.
What man?
handed.
You Arsenal supposed to calm down. I think, Liverpool were going to beat anyone that year. They beat Barca.
Tottenham had 5 touches
Nothing to do with Tottenham. They would have
in
beaten
City's
whoever they
area
played.
in this game. 5 touches in City's area in the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah,
When
I'm
you've
not
got-
surprised. I mean,
You have one of the best strikers in the world, and he can't even take touches in the opposition
He
area.
didn't even have a shot, did he?
Getting the ball. I don't think he was even getting.
I told you he was playing DM. That's why he was playing next to Højbjerg.
Yeah, he was actually, when they showed in the first half, they showed the average position of players. He was deeper than both Moura and Song.
Yeah, but he was next to
He was
Højbjerg.
actually level with I think Harry Winks.
Do you reckon that's because he wanted them to pick him up from there and then obviously use the pace?
And that was the thing. The City defenders never got sucked in. They didn't even bother going to Harry Kane. So, you know, I don't know, if you're playing that narrow team, they should have made an adjustment. They just didn't make an adjustment.
Yeah, just yeah. You know what? It doesn't.
Yeah, a comfortable 1-0. You know, the only surprise was the goal came from a set piece.
The only surprise, it was 1 goal. That's the biggest surprise. The fact that it was literally just the 1-0.
I mean, let's kind of end it there, really, because there's not much more to talk about this game apart from City dominating and winning another League Cup.
Yeah, City need to find a new competition to win because this is not. I mean,
will they try? Will they try?
Like what's making me laugh is the fact that like the stats are Pep's had 15 major trophy finals and he's won 14. But they're including the Carabao Cup. That's not a major. Well, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's not a major trophy.
It does count as a major.
Does it?
Yeah, but in reality, it's not.
It's not.
Everyone plays their B
Not,
team.
but yeah, but it
All the big teams play their reserves, so it's
Okay.
already a cup.
I didn't even know it counted as a major trophy. I thought it was just an extra trophy because no other European team plays for 2 cups, do they?
No.
Everybody just has one.
One,
and that's
like the FA Cup, etc.
yeah. So I just thought this was like a secondary trophy, but you know, well,
I mean, it's there. They win it every year, so
well I'm just glad Tottenham didn't win it, so it's fine.
Thank you, Adil. Thank you, Famik. Guys, do like, share, subscribe, and share out to families and friends. And thank you for watching.